Hello beady friends. Today I'm going to show you how to make the mystical eye bracelet using these really cool Czech glass beads that we just got in. It only takes a few different sizes of seed beads, the focals of course, which are the eyes, as well as your clasp and needle and thread. So we do have these kits available. Comes with everything you need but the needle and thread. So today I'm going to be using a big eye needle. Because I'm not working with the super small beads, you can use these big eye needles. I love them. They open up and are super easy to thread. I'm also going to be using a 4-pound Fireline in the smoke. You could use a 6 as well. The 4 is just what I have on hand. So either a 4 or 6-pound Fireline or whatever you prefer to work thread you use. It's totally up to you. Okay, and then you've got your clasp. This is going to be a ball and socket clasp. We really love using these. They are great and easy to open and close. All right, let's get started. You are going to take a wingspan. I like to use a full wingspan, but it's really up to you. If you prefer to do a half of a wingspan, you could do that. But I would recommend doing a whole wingspan. And go ahead and use your big eye and thread that needle. Now on the other end, you are going to do a stopper bead, okay? With your stopper bead, I'm going to use a 6/0. You could use an 8/0 as well. You want to leave a nice long tail with this stopper bead because we can use that nice long tail, and that's also why I say to do a full wingspan. You do a nice long tail so that you can attach one end of your clasp when you get to that point. So you're going to do a stopper bead, and that stopper bead will come off when we get to that point. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you're working with 3 sizes of seed beads. You've got your 6/0 seed beads, which will be the bracelet part. You've got your 8/0 seed beads and your 11/0 seed beads. And those will go around the eye beads. So the beautiful thing about this pattern is that you can adjust the size as you go along. So I'm going to start off with, because I have about a 6.5-ish, no, I would say 6-ish wrist, I'm going to start with 13 seed beads. We've got the 13. We're going to go ahead and go down. Great. And what I like to do is then grab an 8/0 seed bead and one of the eye beads. So you can see here, see if I can pull it down, that I have, whoopsie doodles, that I have a pattern going. So I have the white shiny, the black, and then the teal in the middle. So we're going to start, once you have your 6/0 seed beads, you put an 8/0 on, and then you're going to take one of your eye beads in whatever sequence that you want and put that on. Okay, you've got your thread coming out the top here. Now you're going to pick up, what was it? 2, 3, 4, 5. A total of 6 11/0 seed beads. Six 11/0 seed beads, 1 8/0 seed bead, and that will be the focal. just a little focal, and then another 6 11-0 seed beads. Okay, and then you're going to come back and you're going to bring the thread is coming up through the top. You're going to take your needle with your thread and come back down and go up through that eye needle. And when you do that, you will see that it will wrap around one side of your eye bead. Okay. Now you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to do 6 11-0 seed beads. One 8-0 and another 6-0 seed bead. Okay, and then you're going to come down, or you're going to, again, your thread's coming out from the top of that eye bead. You're going to come back down again, and you're going to go through that eye bead. Okay, and there you go. Got a little bit there. So what I like to do is I like to go back and go through the first side I added, and then do that all again. The 6 beads, the center bead, and then the final 6 beads, and then come back up and through. This to me is just a nice reinforcement. And we're going to go back down through that side. Don't worry too much. You do want to keep a moderate tension on it, and don't let it get too loose. Okay, and then we will come back through the eye bead and continue on with that same pattern. Okay, so we're going to add an 8-0 seed bead and then take the next color in line, which will be the black, and we're going to bring that down to sit on top of the first eye bead that we added. And then again, you're going to pick up your 6 11-0s, an 8-0, and another 6 11-0, and you're going to go up through and come back out and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do it without talking. Don't worry if they get a little tangled up, it is okay. Beautiful thing about this really, really simple pattern is that it's really very forgiving. You know, make a little mistake, you can easily undo what you have done and redo it to correct it. So now that I've got my second eye bead on, I'm just going to go back down through the first side that I added beads, come back up through. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it this way. You could just come back around and go all the way around, but I like this. I think it produces a more secure bead structure on either side of the eyes. There we go. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and come up through. Oops. All right, and pull nice and taut. Not super duper tight, but nice and taut. And then you're going to keep doing this, adding the remainder of the eye beads that you have. And when I have completed that, we'll come back and I'll show you how to add the clasp. So now I have everything done, and I'm just going to go ahead and go in and measure what I have so far. So right now I am at 6 inches, and you always have to take into consideration the length of your clasp, right? So this clasp is going to add on top of that 6 inches a 1/2 inch. So I'm okay with that. That size should work perfectly. So let's go ahead and add your clasp. Now with these ball and socket clasps, I recommend adding them or snapping it together, and then when you're adding the clasp to your piece, keep it together. Just for the sake that, you don't sew it on backwards or upside down, like the top being this way, which I have done. So with these guys, I like to keep them together. So you're going to take one side, and it's really very simple. So we'll go in with the needle that we ended on, and you're just going to go through one side of your clasp. Now remember, the other end has the bead stopper, and we'll get to that. Okay, so you're just going to come down, you're going to put one end of your clasp in, and then you're going to come down through a couple of beads. And now this is where your tension is going to be important. Pull nice and taut, and if you can, hold it, and then come back, and we will do a couple of knots, and we're going to go back down through, create a little bit of a bead pathway, and come back down through, get a nice taut, there we go, and then we're going to come down, and do another loop. Great. Come back up, and we're going to reinforce that a few times. Whoops, I forgot something. So I made a few knots as we went along, which is great, but I meant to go back down here to the eye bead. And I know black beads probably not the best to do a a tutorial video, but you live and you learn. Okay, we're going to come back down through here. Ooh, cutting it close-wise. Okay. Bring that down. There will be some natural shifting. That is quite all right. There will be natural shifting. So you're going to come, you do a couple of knots as you go down, and then you're going to come all the way down to the eye. As you're coming down, you do those few loop knots, and then you're going to come, and we're just going to create a thread path to add extra reinforcement. And go through there. Okay. Come up through here. Okay. Create that little knot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up. For me, I always like to reinforce 3 times my clasp at least, and especially depending on the piece. Ooh, I think I have a little snafu up here, but that's okay. I will fix that a little later. Okay. There we go. Keeping your tension nice and taut. And then I'm gonna come back down here and reinforce on the other side. Create. Oops. Come on, needle. I swear I need to get magnifiers, but not yet. I keep telling myself, not quite yet. Oops. There we go. Do a little extra slack on that. And it's okay if you have natural shifting of the beads. This will happen, and it's okay. You'll see when it all comes together that it lays beautifully on your wrist. Okay, we're going to create a little, oops, come back, do that one again. Create a little, boy oh boy, I'm all butterfingers here. There it is. Okay, now we are done with that tail. We'll come in with our Fireline scissors. Don't worry about that shifting, and snip-a-rooney. And then we will come to this end. So we have our bead stopper on here. We will go ahead, remove that bead stopper so I have an even 13 beads on either side. And then you bring it back around, grab your needle. You see how easy that is? It's already attached to the other side. Just makes it so much easier keeping it together. Okay? Then we come down. I'll do a little loop. Don't worry about if there's a little bit of slack. That's not gonna make any difference right now. Right now we are just attaching it and reinforcing it. And I am not being very finessed by this, but don't worry. Okay, come back, create that pathway so we keep it nice and secured. And then we'll come up that eye bead. And again, don't worry about the tension. It will all come together when we are in the final stages. All right, and I will come back once I have it attached and finished to show you the end result. Okay. There you go. Final piece. And there you have it. There's your mystical eye bracelet. Thank you for joining me. I hope you consider buying a kit. These kits are great for, beginners, really any skill level. They whip up super easy, and we all need those instant gratification pieces that whip up, great for gifts or for things to do with your friends. The kits can be found at www.donnasbeads.com. Okay, happy beading!